So I think by now you're probably familiar with everything that's been going on right now. You have things like ETH at 2.2k. You have Bitcoin surpassing almost $42,000, and you're thinking to yourself, how the hell am I gonna make money now that I missed the bottom? Truth is, you did miss the bottom. I'm sorry, but you missed the bottom. And a lot of things are up 10, 15, 20x from their lows, and you have not been there. You were a lazy piece of shit, as I like to say. And in best words, you were a piece of shit that missed the bottom. But don't worry about it. Because in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what you need to know, exactly what's been going on in the crypto market, and I'm going to show you my best narrative plays that I'm either invested in or looking at for the next 2 to 3 months that I think are going to 5, 10, maybe even 11x over the course of a few months' time. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm looking at and how I'm planning to profit on the stock market as a result of the crypto bull run. Okay, so let's just look at the charts here. So we start off by looking at CMC.com, and from what we're looking at, I mean, this is just an explosive, absolute god tier of a pump here. We have Bitcoin at 42, thank God. We have Ethereum at 2.2. Pretty much everything under the sun is up right now. Okay, you could have literally bought a piece of shit, and that piece of shit would have doubled your investment. Now, what you should be focusing on is not these coins, right? Bitcoin already doubled, Ethereum already doubled, everything here is already up significantly, and the market cap is just so high that for you to even make a 2x, you would need something like Bitcoin to literally almost double by $1 trillion. Okay? Uh, so you do not want to be looking at this. Rather, what you want to be doing is thinking, how is this liquidity going to trickle and where is it going to trickle down to? Okay, so if we take a look here, we could see the sectors that have already been blowing up in this crypto market. We have things like AI, we have BRC20s, we have gaming. Now, this is the most important part here. This is the gaming sector. And if we're looking at the crypto sector here, you could already see trading volume has nearly doubled, over doubled actually. Market cap is pretty big. Uh, it went up significantly as well. We could already see these alts starting to pump. And typically what happens is when the mega caps pump, what follows are the altcoins. And the altcoins take a few weeks to follow. So that gives you a good opportunity to just jump in when you see Bitcoin skyrocketing and whatnot. Unfortunately for you, these things have already massively went up. And you're thinking to yourself, how am I going to profit off of this? You have Star Atlas up 44%, nearly 140 market cap. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. This is crazy. Things are pumping left and right, and you pretty much missed out on this for the most part. Now, here's what people aren't realizing. People are not realizing that liquidity trickling down does not necessarily end at altcoins, right? Altcoins are not the end of the liquidity trickle and the liquidity waterfall. It keeps on going. And if you give me a second here, I'm going to show you exactly where it's going and where it'll be headed in just a few months. So now for context, I'm going to give you an example of something that happened with Bitcoin a little while ago, but not too long ago. So we could see here that we have this period of consolidation during the COVID phase, during the COVID times. And what you see is right around October 2020 is when Bitcoin really starts to surge. And it did hit a high of around, I think, 69K or something like that, April, right? So we have this huge pump from October all the way up to April. Now, mind you, the pump started in October, so keep that in mind. Now, if we pull up MicroStrategy here, which is ticker MSTR on the Nasdaq, which is Michael Saylor's company, the one of the biggest whales of Bitcoin, and just a huge Bitcoin maxi. You should know this stuff, okay? You should know this. You could see here that right around at the start of November, mind you, November, Bitcoin started rallying a little during a little at the start of October. A little at the start of October, and MicroStrategy only ended up following it around December is when it started to break all-time highs. Now, What happened after is just a monstrous explosion all the way up to $1,200 per share. Let's pull out the. Now, if we do some simple charting here, you could already see that this alone was a 600% move. Okay, this was 600% from an existing $1 billion market cap stock that pumped 600% as a result of Bitcoin going up. And there's plenty of these. We have things like Mara, which is a crypto mining company. You have something like that, which again started pumping around November, even December, I would say. When did Bitcoin start pumping? In October. Now, if we just do some quick math here, you could see, you could already see that this alone at the peak is a 24x, 2,300%. Okay, it's just what do you think is going on here, right? You see that Bitcoin is pumping, and then a little later, after alts, after the altcoins are done pumping as well, you have the stock market narrative that follows the crypto rally, right? Just like vice versa, when the Fed starts printing more cash, you have Bitcoin following the market. Now, when you have crypto going up, then you have the stock market following. It really depends on what is more dominant at the current stage of time that we're in, right? So we're seeing that we're seeing that crypto itself and gaming and the gaming sector specifically are just absolutely ripping. Okay, now our job is to find the next MSTR. Okay, that is our job right now. Our job is to find the coins or the stocks, sorry, the stocks that will follow the pump here. Okay, because liquidity is liquidity. It'll trickle down. It'll keep trickling down up until some sort of bad economic news occurs. Okay, now let me show you exactly what I'm looking at here. Now, if we go to swingtradebot.com and we look up something like NFT stocks, right? This will show you exactly the stocks that are under that set sector. So we have NFT stocks here. And if you stick around, I'll give you a ticker that is actually not here and will probably overpass and surpass all of these together. Okay, so what do we see here? We see Oriental Culture Group. We have OCG, HOFV, WKey, DLPN, Funko. I think Funko released the NFT last year, so maybe that's why it's there. I'm not sure. Well, if we look at OCG, for example, you could see that it is near its all-time lows. And if we just go up all the way, you could see that this has just absolutely shit itself. And you can already see that, again, liquidity is not here yet. Retail is not here yet, which is a good sign for you because you're already here. Now, again, market cap 5.61. Take that as you will. One thing I will say, though, is Hong Kong is something that you should be skeptical of. Hong Kong stocks typically have less regulations because they're foreign issuers, meaning that they have different laws that they abide to by the stock market. They file different filings. They have different rules in terms of when and how much they can file financial reports. It basically gives you a little bit of a blur on what's going on. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna focus on the U.S. tickers, and mind you, there's not much of them. So you don't have to be super, super accurate about what you think, where you think certain stock is going to run to. There's not many of these crypto gaming and these crypto stocks in general. So take that as you will. So to generalize this, let's look up crypto stocks on SwingTradeBot. And right off the bat, you just have a bunch of these ETFs, and you potentially should have some mining. Let's see. We have cryptocurrency mining. That's one of them. You have all the cryptocurrency miners mining stocks. So let's start with the list. So let's start with BTCM. Okay, BTCM overall from the original crypto pump during the COVID era is down a very lot amount. Let's actually check here. It is down, wow, a little over 99%. Okay, And what you see here is you have 2023 when things start taking off. 2023, the first like 2 months, we had an insane rally across the board. And what happened after is just this consolidation, uh, due to Bitcoin just being stagnant. Okay, let's look at Bitcoin for a second. So if we look at Bitcoin here, you could see that it was 16K at the start of 2023, and then you have this nice little rally up, and then afterwards you have this consolidation, right? What do we see here? We see a pump, and then we see some consolidation. Mind you, these companies can dilute their supply, meaning that sometimes you cannot rely on the chart and the numbers that follow, right? You can't say this thing is going to go back to $300. That is impossible because this company has diluted so much shares here that it will take billions and billions, maybe even $1 trillion market caps just for it to go back up here, okay? So looking back here, you can already see that we have some volume coming in, okay? This is a pretty good sign, meaning that you didn't just find some shit code that's not moving or just some stable coin that or stable stock that's just not going to do anything and you're just wasting your time and money, right? So we already see some movement here. Uh, that is really good. Another one thing I need to point out, these guys own BTC.com, okay? Fucking BTC.com. This is an extremely valuable domain, okay? If not a similar value to Bitcoin.com itself, okay? This domain alone is worth millions of dollars, right? Now, if we just look over to Finviz, we could see that the market cap is 42 million, which again is not too bad, but again, it's pretty big. So, if you want a safe bet, if you want a safer bet, then I would recommend BTCM. It is a little quieter, it is a little less volatile, and as we go down this video, I'm gonna just absolutely rip through the volatility scale, and I'm gonna show you just the most absolute shitters uh, that can make you 10, 15x. So this right here, I can honestly say that this is a good opportunity for a 2x, 3x, and what was the high here at 2023? We had a little over $5. So easy, no problem. Bitcoin was 22,000 here. It's at 40. There's so much room here. So this is one you should put on the list. Again, I'm not recommending you to buy or sell any security whatsoever. I'm not a financial advisor. Secondly is BTCS. Okay, BTCS is a little on the safer side. However, this thing does rip when it rips. Its consolidation phases are a little less volatile because you kind of already see that it's consolidating before you realize that you're down a lot of money, right? It'll kind of let you know that it's in a consolidation phase just based off the lack of volume and the lack of momentum. And if you notice here, when this thing does consolidate, it usually kind of remains tame. It doesn't really dump too low, given the company does not dilute that many shares. And if we go to dilution tracker here, which basically tracks the volume of the and then the supply of the stock, you can see here that since the new year, it hasn't diluted much, from 13 million shares all the way up to 14. That's not too bad. One thing that this company does have as a red flag is that it's only 0.6 months away uh, of being negative in cash because they don't have a cash flowing business. They're losing money. Now, what BTCS does is, again, quote, pure play. It is a pure play, okay? It's a publicly traded company that focuses on crypto, which is basically what they're saying. Mind you, these guys hire copywriters to write their stuff. They're basically saying, we pump when the crypto market pumps. Buy me. Buy me. If DeFi is a trend, then buy me. Buy me. Put your money in my pocket. So you could already see that this company is here for the sake of going up when the crypto market goes up. Now, the next stocks we're going to be looking at are stocks that don't follow the crypto market, rather they follow the altcoin market. They're going to follow a sector of the crypto market, which, point being, just means a triple leveraged dog shit stock that will just rip fucking insane shreds of shit upwards towards the moon. Okay, we're going to see huge pumps on these stocks, because if they follow by nature, if they're following a super volatile cryptocurrency, by all means, this thing will do exactly that, if not more. Okay, so another one that I like is MMV, which is Multi Metaverse Holdings. It's pretty rhetorical. It pretty much is what it says it is, which is a metaverse company. It involves metaverse gaming. So if you see the gaming sector and the metaverse sector pumping, you will most likely see this thing coming out of the trenches that that has been at for the past year, and it will moon. It will moon very hard because this entire level, this entire area of capitulation and consolidation, will not go unnoticed. People will see this, and when they see it, this thing will rip extremely. If we're looking back here, we could see at June, it probably released some news. It went from 95 cents all the way up to 4. That should tell you one thing and one thing only, that this thing has power. This thing can pump loads. And that's a very good sign to have on a small cap stock because you know that it has done it before, which gives you the predictability that it might do it again, except this time you'll be in it before this huge rip. Okay? Now, another stock that I like is ticker MPU. Mind you, as we're going down, it gets more volatile and more degenerate. So, this is ticker MPU. You can see here that this company has a metaverse company alongside a jet fleet company, right? So you have a jet fleet company operating a metaverse company as a subsidiary. That should tell you that this company is super weird, is super fishy. And this company will by any means take advantage of any single liquidity pump that comes to pump their stock, right? Now, if we see here that the company focuses on GameFi business through Mega and will continue to focus on aircraft operations. So I'm assuming what they're going to try to do here is they've created this subsidiary, Mega Metaverse, and what they're doing is they're waiting for another crypto pump or potentially another crypto gaming pump to take advantage so it could reflect their stock price. And after the pump, what they'll probably do is issue more shares at the peak. So what they've done is they've already issued shares at peak pumps. So we have things like this that went from 35 cents all the way up to $7. They'll issue shares at peak prices, and they'll probably take advantage of this metaverse opportunity to fund their jet fleet business, which obviously burns a lot of cash. That's why they need a subsidiary to essentially take advantage of two different sectors of the market. This is probably one of my favorite picks here, which is the NFT gaming company, right? It is literally spelled out for you. It is an NFT gaming company. And if we're looking at the top gaming tokens by market capitalization, you can see that volume is up 100%. The market cap is already at 18 billion, and you have all these Axie Infinity stocks. You have all these gaming tokens that are absolutely shitting previous resisting levels and just blasting through all-time highs, at least for the year. So, that in mind, this is by far one of my favorite picks in this video. And while I'm not going to get into too much detail, what I will tell you is that the NFT gaming company is developing a digital gaming platform that will offer our proprietary games as well as games developed and published by third parties. Our vision is to develop, design, acquire, and manage conventional digital games and combine them with novel models. You see a lot of words such as NFTs, skins, characters, in-game assets, crypto. This is big. This is a big, big, big description, and the SEO on this is simply insane, right? If you have someone looking up NFT on Robinhood or Thinkorswim or any stock exchange, you will see that this will be one of the first things that come up. Now here is the best part, okay? This company has not diluted any shares since the new year, right? This has been at a steady, calm 12 million shares outstanding with no additional shares issued. Number two, this company has 15 months of cash left, meaning that they probably have no other additional reason to dilute shares and basically shit on shareholders by issuing new shares and thus reducing the price. We're gonna get into all that stuff later. But from what we can see here, this company is good on cash. They're strapped up on cash. Uh, Dilution history is pretty good. And if we look at, so if we're looking at the chronological order of SEC filings, we don't have an S3. We do not have an S3. And we do have an S1. Now let's see what this says. NFC Gaming Money, registration statement. Preliminary prospectus, 1.7 million shares of common stock. Bookrunner, F. Houghton. So again, we could see the narrative here is just absolutely crazy. And this is just the preliminary prospectus. We're not gonna find anything here. They're basically reserving the right to sell 1.7 million of additionally issued shares. Now, aside from the fundamentals and all the stuff behind the scenes, this is just absolutely beautiful what we have going on here. You could see here that there's a good history of pumps. The stock does know how to run, and we are at some good buying levels right here. So typically what we see here is we have this long period of just selling pressure and just overall nothing happening, right? That's the same thing that we had with, what do you know, with crypto, with gaming coins. Now, as an example, let's go to Star Atlas for a second here. You could see here that over a year period, this thing has been just absolutely dead. All right, this thing went from 004 all the way down to 001. So just a year of just bleeding. And then right here, which is October, it starts to pump nicely. So we have this nice pump here, practically for no reason, just because of the market conditions. And what we have here is we already have some volume coming in here, and we have not pumped yet. We have not experienced the levels of gains that these small caps in the altcoin sector or the altcoin space have already experienced. So here are my final thoughts. I don't want to keep this video going for too long, but I will tell you this: eventually the liquidity will transfer over to the stock market, and mind you, they're very selective stocks for the crypto sector, which means that most of the liquidity, unlike here where you see there's over like 300 plus, I mean there's thousands of altcoins in the crypto market that are in gaming alone, right? Uh, they're very select in the stock market, meaning that liquidity does not have a choice but to go anywhere but these, you know, 8 to 10 stocks that are based around NFT gaming and crypto and digital mining, which economically speaking should mean a whole lot more bread for you. We will definitely look back at this in a few weeks. We'll see if I'm right, if I'm wrong. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not have a CPA in accounting or any financial diploma. So, that in mind, let's fucking make some money.